So another day, another video on this channel, lads. And a good few things have happened in basketball. Obviously, Slovenia are proving, yeah, they are legit. They are legit. Man, I watched them against Lithuania, who I didn't think Lithuania were exceptional in that game. And I thought, you know what, Slovenia just about got through that game. I thought they might kind of struggle in the Olympics. It's like, no. And it's not only Luka Doncic. So if to everyone from Slovenia who was going mad at me in the last video I talked about them, fair enough. Fair enough. I thought Japan were going to run them close. And because I thought Rui Hachimura was going to have a huge game. And yes, Slovenia's defense, is it great? No. But they've scored 118 and 116 points in their two games, lads. 118 and 116. It's crazy. There's also some just ridiculous trade packages for the Philadelphia 76ers with Ben Simmons. And then we're going to go over a few draft trade rumors. So first of all, we are on to the Olympics right here. So you've got Slovenia destroying Japan. And it was a very tight game it's a very tight game right now between Spain and Argentina. Again, I would assume Spain will win this game. But, man, Spain... one thing I will say is that when Ricky Rubio is not on the floor, Spain look horrific. Although Pau Gasol still plus 8 when he's on the floor. Luis Scola, only 4 points for him. And it's crazy to see Luis Scola, a future Hall of Famer, still playing basketball. As Usman Garuba got on. Again, a guy who could hear his name being called today in the NBA draft, Usman Garuba. A guy who broke in very, very young to the Real Madrid squad. Obviously, Luka Doncic is an exception. He came in at kind of the same age. Obviously, he's not going to be Luka Doncic, but hey, look, it is what it is. But then we've got this right here. Spurs reject Sixers in latest outrageous Ben Simmons offer. Like, who do the Sixers think Ben Simmons is? Ben Simmons and Sixers, yes, they're shipping him. But like, have a read of this. Like, first of all, we had another one where they said OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, and a first round pick, and Kyle Lowry. I need to find this one here. Where is it? Basically, 4 first rounds, 3 pick swaps, and a young player. That's 7. That's basically 7 first round picks. Like, actually, no, it's not 7 first round picks. If the Spurs end up being horrific, it's 7 first round picks, which they might be because Simmons is good. He's not that good. Like, he's good. But like a Simmons-led team with nobody else, probably not making the playoffs in the West. And the Sixers probably are getting good picks for the foreseeable future. Like, this is they're looking for a Harden level trade for Ben Simmons. Like, they're looking for a trade, for a package that would probably get you a top 5 player in the NBA. Like, I'm not sure that if you offered the Spurs Damian Lillard, who's better than Ben Simmons, for that, they would take it. And by not sure, they probably wouldn't. And a young player. Like, I've never seen something like this before. They're literally... Actually, no, I have. It was like when the Knicks offered Porzingis back in 2017 to Boston, and basically they wanted every one of the Boston Celtics draft picks. They wanted some ridiculous thing like that. But like, do the Sixers really want to trade Ben Simmons? Because I'm not sure they do. I'm not fully convinced after reading this that the Sixers even want to trade Ben Simmons. My whole thing is maybe it could be a case that the Sixers are just offering ridiculous stuff that teams won't take because they want to keep Ben Simmons. Why do they want to keep Ben Simmons? I don't know. The guy has the yips. The guy needs to see a psychiatrist more than he needs to practice his basketball skills because he can shoot. If you've ever watched Ben Simmons shooting around practice, he can shoot. He just won't shoot. He can dunk it in everybody. He won't try to score on Trae Young. He has a basketball equivalent of the yips. And again, it happens. It happens. We've seen stuff with, like Nick Anderson, who was one of the best shooters in the NBA, forget how to shoot at the free throw line. We've seen stuff like that in the past. It's possible. Like, Ben Simmons currently, he's one of the best defense players in the NBA, if not the best defense player. Offensively, Ben Simmons, as of right now, he's a liability on one end of the floor. Like, I believe he's a better defensive player than Rudy Gobert, but he's as much of an offensive liability as Rudy Gobert. That's the crazy thing. He can't shoot. He won't shoot. He's a guy that, if anything, can be a... I think he should play almost like a Draymond role. But like, there's no reason why he shouldn't shoot 30% from the three-point line and shoot half decent from the free throw line. There's no reason why he shouldn't. Because he can, like, again, I'll have a story, but we've obviously seen some of the videos of him practicing. Like, there was all these stories that Ben Simmons didn't want anyone watching him practice. And I actually went to a Sixers practice back in 2018. And it was Ben Simmons' rookie year. It was when he hadn't hit a three-pointer at this stage, and there was always talk about it. There was all these talk about it. So every other player on the Sixers team, including guys that didn't shoot three-pointers, were practicing shooting three-pointers in their shoot around. Every other one, except for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons stood there on the side, just watching. He wouldn't even practice because there was media there. He was chucking up half-court hook shots. He was shooting trick shots. But he wouldn't shoot a three-point shot because the media was there. It's not that Ben Simmons can't shoot. It's that there's obviously some sort of mental thing that he does not want to shoot. And one thing that appears evident is he appears to be scared to fail. I don't know how true that is. Again, I don't know the guy. But it seems from the outside looking in that the guy is scared to fail. And if you're scared to fail, you're never going to succeed. And that's why for me, Ben Simmons, if you, like, his actual worth is a young player and maybe 2 firsts, max. Because he's just not the player people thought he was going to be. And we've gone from a draft trade rumor. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's too good to give up on. It all depends on what they can get, but yeah, I agree. I don't get why they would trade him. Like, again, he's 23 years old. He's only a year older than me. And again, my whole thing, even, like, obviously if the Pistons somehow rejected Shai and this number 6 pick, I mean, if Cade Cunningham turns into Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's not a bust. Like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has potential to be a top 15 player in the NBA. And I personally, again, believe that if the LA Clippers, obviously they needed to trade him away because Kawhi wasn't going to come if they didn't get Paul George. But in alternate reality where Kawhi was coming anyway, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, and Kawhi Leonard probably win the 2020 NBA Championship. Now we're going to have a look at a couple of draft rumors. 3 most likely teams to make a trade from NBAanalysis.net. If it says the Pistons, I don't think the Pistons are going to trade under any circumstances. The Golden State Warriors. I've heard, rumors are the Golden State Warriors are keeping all their picks. Which is weird. Which is really, really weird one. It says they've showed interest in Dame, Bradley Beal. I don't think Dame and Steph play well together. I like Beal. I do like Beal. But, like, to get one of those guys, you're giving up your number 2 pick from last year. I get it. Wiggins' salary isn't great. And then the 7th and 14th picks realistically for one of those guys. I think Siakam would fit really well. I think Siakam would fit really, really well with those guys. Because Siakam doesn't have to be a primary ball handler. I think as great as Siakam was at times in 2020, I personally believe Siakam in 2019 playing alongside Kawhi, he was exceptional. Like, if they go and they manage to run out with Siakam, Draymond, Clay, Steph, and any sort of a body at center, they're contenders. Are they going to be favorites? No. Are they going to be in the top 5 favorites? No. But they have a shot. They have a shot. If they can manage, to pull off for a Siakam or a Bradley Beal, the Warriors are coming. The Warriors are well and truly coming. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. The Slovenia game was, again, crazy. I couldn't find anywhere to watch the game live, but I managed to get a highlight clip where it was like 13 minutes of the game, so thankfully I got to see most of the game. And man, Slovenia are better than I thought. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I thought that Japan playing well would have a shot against Slovenia. Rui Hachimura scored 34 points. Yuro Watanabe scored 17. Japan played well. Slovenia just destroyed them. Zoran Dragic, 9 of 12 from the field, 10 of 13 from the field, 24 points. Like, this Slovenia team is not just, and that's one of the things that we gotta stop saying, because I knew it obviously wasn't. What was it, like one of the NBA medias that have never watched basketball outside of America in their life? What do they call them, like Luka and the Miracles or something? That's not the case. I knew coming into it, obviously, Zoran Dragic had played in the NBA. Zoran Dragic was part of the Eurobat. Was he part? I can't even remember, because it was pretty much just Luka and Goran did everything. But he was definitely a starter when they were in the 2014 World Cup, and they did quite well. Obviously, Slovenia winning Eurobasket, they got more than Luka Doncic. But, man, I did not think the Sporting Cast were as good as they are. I did not. Like, I knew they were good. But, man, I did not project Slovenia to win a medal. Man, it's tough. It's tough to see Slovenia not winning a medal at this stage. I look in this group, Spain look like they're going to go and beat Argentina right here. See how they're getting on. Obviously, Pau Gasol. They seem to be balling out with Pau on the floor and Abrines. But, nah, Spain, the World Cup winners. I don't know. I'd still say the USA are favourites. After their amazing 54-point win against Iran. And one of the crazy things is that the USA could beat the Czech Republic. This could be one of those situations where people look back in 10 years and be like, USA dominated. If the USA beat the Czech Republic by 40, which could happen. Czech Republic could be close, but they could beat them by 40. It's not out of the realm possibility that USA could beat Czech Republic by 40. If they manage to do that and then win like their next 3 games by 1 point, all of a sudden it'll look like they have a winning margin of like average winning margin of like 20, despite the fact that they might have struggled. Just like again the 2012 team struggled against Lithuania, struggled against Spain. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is today's basketball news. Let me know what you guys think about the Simmons deal. First of all, I don't even think the Sixers believe that Simmons is worth this much. I just think the Sixers don't want to trade him. So they're offering ridiculous stuff and say, look, we tried. And they can go to their fans and say, look, we tried. No other teams wanted him. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.